Kelsi Sheren, a former Canadian military member, shares her experiences of serving in Afghanistan and reflects on the realities of war. She joined the military at 19 after being inspired by a woman in an Air Force uniform she met on a bus. Despite facing challenges in a French-speaking unit and being the only woman, she proved herself through hard work and dedication. Sheren underwent basic training and trade-specific training to become a gunner in the artillery. She was deployed to Afghanistan less than a year and a half after joining the military. Upon arriving in Afghanistan, she experienced a culture shock and realized the dangers of being in a war zone. Her first fire mission was a significant moment where she understood the impact of her actions. Sheren delves into the complexities of war and the challenges faced by soldiers. She emphasizes the disconnect between the glorified portrayal of war in media and the harsh realities soldiers experience. She discusses the desensitization that occurs in combat situations as a survival mechanism. She also touches on the psychological impact of witnessing death and violence during wartime. While hesitant to delve into specific political conflicts, Sheren expresses her concerns about the ongoing violence in the Israel-Palestine conflict. She questions the selective outrage and lack of understanding of the true consequences of war. She emphasizes the long-lasting effects of violence on future generations and the importance of seeking peaceful solutions. She was deployed as a gunner, but was later assigned to search women and children for weapons and contraband due to her gender. This put her in dangerous situations, such as being at risk of suicide bombers and facing hostile reactions from the local population. Sheren describes her time in Afghanistan as intense and challenging. She was involved in combat situations, including firefights and searching for improvised explosive devices, IEDs, and caches. The summer of 2009 was particularly rough, with increased fighting and casualties among various military forces. She witnessed the effects of war firsthand, including the death of a fellow soldier due to an IED explosion. Upon returning home, Sheren struggled with PTSD and other mental health issues. She experienced symptoms such as insomnia, anxiety, and aggression. The military provided minimal support, mainly in the form of medication and non-qualified social workers. Her mental health deteriorated to the point where she saw hallucinations and had suicidal thoughts. She was eventually diagnosed with PTSD and medically released from the military. Sheren's reintegration into civilian life was difficult. She faced challenges such as anger issues, social isolation, and difficulty adjusting to normal life. She also experienced a lack of understanding from her peers and superiors who were unsure how to support her. The transition from a combat environment to civilian society was a significant hurdle for Sheren and many other veterans. Sheren highlights the importance of proper support for veterans transitioning to civilian life. She emphasizes the need for qualified mental health professionals and a strong support network. Many veterans struggle with mental health issues, substance abuse, and social isolation, making it crucial to provide comprehensive care and resources for their well-being. Sheren discusses the role of women in combat roles and the challenges they face. While women are capable of performing the same duties as men, there are concerns about their integration into male-dominated units. Some argue that the presence of women may affect the dynamics and decision-making in combat situations. However, Sheren believes that if women can effectively perform the job, they should be allowed to serve in combat roles. She does suggest, though, that not every woman may be suited for the battlefield and emphasizes the need for a specific type of female soldier who can effectively handle the violence and brutality of war. Sheren expresses her belief that the war in Afghanistan was ultimately unproductive and counterproductive. She questions whether the decision to go to war in the first place was justified, considering the lack of a clear plan for succession and the failure to address key issues. She highlights the impact of bad leadership on the outcome of the war, emphasizing the importance of effective decision-making and strategy in military operations. She points out the consequences of political decisions on military operations, such as the abandonment of allies and the leaving behind of billions of dollars worth of weapons. Sheren emphasizes the importance of effective leadership in military operations and the need for clear planning and decision-making to avoid disastrous outcomes. One of the key issues discussed by Sheren is the controversial expansion of medical assistance in dying in Canada, particularly in relation to mental health conditions and vulnerable populations. She raises concerns about the government's decision to offer medical assistance in dying to individuals with mental health issues, depression, and even children as young as 12 with parental consent. Sheren highlights the ethical implications of using medical assistance in dying as a cost-saving measure and expresses alarm at the increasing number of cases where medical assistance in dying is being used instead of providing proper care and support to individuals in need.